Okay, so when we started here, we actually had an older garage door. There was a lot of peeling paint, and the door actually did not fully shut. So there wasn't any ability to secure the contents in the garage when we started. We upgraded the garage with a roll-up garage door, and it has 4 light windows on there, so it actually has the benefit of adding light into the garage. In addition to that, we actually had the concrete on the driveway replaced here too, so it's a nice, clean, sleek, modern look. It's not only functional, but it really adds to the aesthetics. It being such a large surface, it's a big factor as to how the front of the home looks. In the front yard here, I don't know how familiar you are with the Santa Clara area, but we are experiencing drought conditions, and so we wanted to be conscientious about that, so we went with a modern landscape option with black bark throughout. It kind of makes those colors pop with the plants. And to kind of break up the landscaping, we went with a budget-friendly yet modern and effective option of putting stepping stones all along the middle of the front of the front yard. So the overall effect, not a lot of money spent, but we have a very modern, functional, clean aesthetic to the front yard. So we're really happy about how it's turned out. So we're experiencing a drought, so we wanted to be conscientious of that. So we went with a modern, very minimalistic look in our landscape choices. We also trimmed a lot of the overgrowth. When we started, we had these Italian cypress kind of growing up into the gutter system. The gutters are in decent shape, but over time that would have actually deteriorated and caused early failure of the gutter system. So we had to remedy that to start with. So those are trimmed, shaped up. We actually kept a lot of the original landscaping, but once again, this plant here, the oleander, was also extensively overgrown, growing up into the roof line. So we hacked it in half and we watered the heck out of it. And surprise, it actually looks intentional, but it looked a little rough for a while. But we found that if you are aggressive with your pruning and your cleaning of the landscaping when you first start the project, by the time you finish the renovation, you have all this lovely new growth. So timing when you do a renovation is very important. As we kind of head towards the front of the house, we've kind of mirrored a theme here with the front door. We mirrored the same 4-light geometric pattern on the front door as well as on the mailbox. We have newer house numbers. We've also replaced the front windows. So once again, it's creating curb appeal. It's creating that expectation that the people are coming in to see something that's new, that's modern. It's not a house that needs a lot of renovation. That initial emotion that people feel when they're coming up to a home is very important, hence the term curb appeal. So when we were deciding on what to do on this renovation, cost was very much on top of mind. So a lot of people might have completely tiled over this fireplace, but there's actually a new trend where people are incorporating things like natural elements of wood in with this kind of overdone trend of gray and white that we've been seeing for the past decade. We chose a very neutral beigey gray for the walls, but it's not a true gray. It's not that gray that looks like purple. It's a warm gray. And to tie in and preserve these amazing hardwood floors, we did a slight and what's called gray stain on the floor that kind of made them look orangey, but you can see the natural beauty of the wood, and it ties in much better with the wall color as well. So by blending some of the trends that we've seen of that gray and that white, but softening them by adding warm hues of wood and going with a beigey gray, we make this house appeal to a wider audience, as well as make it have a more timeless, classic feel. So let's go into the kitchen here in the dining room area. Once again, we did make some budget-friendly selections like new light fixtures. And new light fixtures don't necessarily cost a lot. Some of these we got on Amazon, some of these we got at Lowe's. Some of them, many of them were under $100 or even $50, but they had a huge impact. Another extremely high impact decision we did here was opening up this wall. Before we had, as was typical in the 1950s and 60s, a very enclosed kitchen. We had a little teeny door here and a wall. And back in the day, they'd have these little kitchen tables that people would, peel potatoes at. We opened this up, and since it was a load-bearing one, we left this header in place. This doesn't cost very much to do, but it has this impact of adding light into what was a very dark and enclosed kitchen. Another little designer trick that we took from the new home developers is this island. Because a lot of people won't notice this, we have 0 windows in this kitchen. So, it sort of had a feeling like you were in this little corner in detention, staring against a wall, washing your dishes. Well, what the new builders are doing is they're incorporating sinks into the kitchen island. So the effect is I'm here, I'm washing dishes, maybe I'm preparing dinner, and I'm able to look out the window, see family members coming home, and see daylight. It suddenly has this much more open, bright, airy feeling. So that's a little builder's designer tip for you, is adding a sink into the island if you don't have windows. Another challenge that we came across here was, as you notice, I stepped down. Most of the house is on a raised wood foundation, and so we were able to preserve the hardwood oak floors. We did pay a little bit of extra to have those hardwood oak floors extended into the kitchen. If you look back here, there's actually they seamlessly blended those hardwood floors, so you don't actually notice the transition. These are original, these are new. You get a good hardwood floor refinisher, and they blend the 2 floors seamlessly. But once we step down into this family room area, we're on concrete slab. It's very expensive and very challenging to bring hardwood flooring when you're on concrete slab. So we opted for a vinyl plank flooring. It's the latest trend, and you can't even tell from a distance. The color family is the same, and therefore it doesn't have that tacky, mismatched wood look like it was an afterthought. It looks like it was a design choice. We chose a very complementary matching coloring floor, and so people are coming in from the yard, they're trekking on the durable flooring before going to the gorgeous hardwood flooring. So shows you what a good stager will do. Once again, a lot of people are refacing these fireplaces, but this goes with the trend of incorporating rustic in with that modern gray and white. Too much modern gray and white starts looking a little dated, a little bit overdone. So bringing in wood, bringing in old brick, it gives the home a warmer and actually more expensive feeling. So I guess let's go ahead and head down the hallway. New kitchen cabinets. So here we're in the hallway bathroom. A few tricks we added in here as well. So from a functional standpoint, we have the concealed trapway toilet, which is very great for easy cleaning. And we also have a floating vanity. But something that people don't understand, and if they're not a designer, is that when you have a floating vanity in a bathroom, because you see the flooring extended, a floating vanity actually makes the bathroom look bigger. We had all these modern features in here, but we were able to finish it off with an inexpensive $60 just plain mirror. It actually makes it look clean and modern. $60 we spent on the mirror. There's no reason to spend money where you don't have to. We'll head down the hallway to the master bedroom as well. We're in the master bedroom. We actually kept the original light fixture because you don't know, everything else looks nice. And another thing we kept were the original handles, the original doorknobs. We saved about $1,000. These doorknobs were black. They were actually waxy. They looked like there was no saving them, but we hit them with some 409. Boom, bright as new, brand new. So that's, things like that. Things like seeing if things can be cleaned and reused rather than just automatically throwing them out because they look terrible. All those little bits add up, and by reusing things like light fixtures that didn't need to be replaced, door hardware, those savings add up, and we were able to do things like in the front, like replacing the concrete on the driveway, which had a big impact. We're going into the master bathroom right now. As throughout the house, we did replace the windows throughout the whole house. But what came interesting is that we have a double vanity in here. This bathroom originally had a single vanity that was only this wide and stuck out like a weird little tooth in the middle of the bathroom. We were able, by shopping and finding something that was a little bit more compact as far as the depth. This is an 18.5-inch vanity. We have a double vanity in here. We have functional space. And just to make the rooms feel taller, we did things like keeping tile all the way to the ceiling on the bathroom. So if you come around here and look at the shower stall, having a nice neutral bright tile go all the way to the ceiling also makes the shower space seem larger. And that was a very low cost because we didn't go with solid surface. We went with larger format tile. That was a savings, but it still looks expensive. It still has a dramatic impact. And then to mirror the other bathroom, once again, an inexpensive clip mirror. We didn't have to spend $200 on a bathroom mirror. And this is a large mirror. You can't necessarily tell by the video. This is a 48-inch wide mirror, but we spent about $70 on this mirror as well. So it's about knowing where to spend that money to have the biggest impact. So, we covered a lot of changes that we did to this home, a lot of improvements, a lot of repairs. And it's quite a decision for an owner to decide whether or not that's for them. But, despite the extensive, or I should say because of the extensive amount of changes that we did and going for the high impact, not just making it look pretty, let's go ahead and see if that paid off for the seller. Let's take a look at the results. Hi, my name is Brenda Avilla-Kintz with Realty One Group American. I'm coming to you with this video because I found that when I'm meeting with clients, they're often faced with two extremes. They're either faced with the neighbor or investor that says, hey, we're your friends, sell your home as is. You know what, it needs so much work. We're gonna take it off your hands and you don't even have to do anything. Stress-free, don't pay any commissions or fees, sell it as is. And then you have the other extreme, which are sometimes, sadly, other real estate professionals that will come to you and they'll say, oh, well, gosh, this house needs a lot of work, even if it's somewhat renovated. And they'll say, if you want to sell this home, you can't sell it unless you do all these major renovations. And the truth is, whether you sell your home as is or fully renovated or somewhere in the middle, the decision really is different from person to person, and it could be a very personalized situation for a number of reasons. So what I like to do with each client is tell everybody what the cost benefit is, both in time and money spent of a fully renovated as is or somewhere in the middle scenario. With this particular home, we kind of had a rare situation. For 90% of my sellers, the best option for them is usually somewhere in the middle. We do some minor renovations, usually paint, flooring, some decluttering, a little bit extra. But in this situation, when we looked at the timeline, the cost benefit of time and money spent, we actually found that it was of benefit to the client to do a major renovation. So that's how we proceeded here. But we still, while doing the major renovation, we also kept in mind getting a significant return on every dollar spent. We came in with the goal of at least a $4 return for every dollar spent. So there were items that maybe sounded like they were nice ideas. They might have made the house prettier, but if they didn't give that sort of return, we weren't going to pursue them. So that was the goal here, and that's the goal in general with all of my clients. So, to find out what's going to be the best option for you in your situation, I really have to sit down with you and, once again, see your property, do an analysis of what the options might be, cost benefit of time and money spent. And then once you have those options, you can decide what's the best option for you rather than possibly getting uninformed opinions from people who may not have your best interest in mind. So if you want to find out your options, contact me, Brenda Avilla-Kintz. Once again, I'm the broker, realtor with solutions for changing lives, and I'd love to help you determine the best solution for you.